with like a Stargate opening instead this time and not do a gateway pressure? You're not as heavily?
I kind of like what he does. I think he just needs to plan a little bit more for the mid game. Maybe go into those Blink Stalkers, maybe go into a bit of a later composition, which we have seen him do in the past. He did it great against BL.
Well, guys, we'll find out. The winner of this goes on to face Terminator here in Group A of the Neighbor Starleague. The bottom left in red, it's Leenock for Yowie Flash Wolves. And some incredible ZVP recently. His opponent has been playing some incredible PvZ, though. To the top right, it's Super for Invasion Esports. And, you know, playing some incredible pressure openings.
Oh, we're looking at that goal base because Leenock loves to take the goal bases on this map.
Yes.
And I think Super might know this. And I think Super's going to go for a Forge again.
Yeah, I think that's the safest bet. If you go Forge and your opponent fast expands to a gold and you see it, you just win the game. I mean,
it's a pretty easy counter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe Leenock might not do it this game because, I mean, he has used it a lot recently.
Yeah, he made his Overlord on 10. I freaked out for a second, thought he was 10 pulling. I saw his minerals get really high. But that's just going to be the way Leenock likes to open his Overlord.
He's actually really interesting because he didn't extract the trick either. He just waited for 3 larvae, then made 3 drones.
13.
It's very...
Okay. That was weird. The timing was kind of strange. Just checks around for proxies.
Gonna go...
He's going to go for the gold? No? Maybe?
Maybe?
He's really being very careful if he's just going to take...
He's scouting everywhere. He's going to go for his third base. Okay. So a bit of a wonky expansion. I think this is kind of throw Super off, give him a mind game that he might be expanding to a gold base. And it's going to make him like run across the map and scout. But really, Leenock's playing completely normal, just in a little different. And it's going to completely stop the Forge as well.
Such a great mind game.
Ooh, unless he was going to go for 2 hatch before pool, and then it's a mistake.
Oh God! Then he's in such a bad spot.
Scout. He should be going for a pool now.
The Overlord does not. Oh, the Overlord does not see the Forge either just yet.
Yeah, but he did put down that Nexus.
Leenock is like super mind games right now.
This is so risky as well.
Super thinks that it's a second hatch.
Yeah.
After gold, but it's not, and he's gonna come and check the gold base. It's gonna be wrong.
Well, he didn't even see that hatchery, man. He has no idea where the hatch is.
Yeah, he thinks the hatch is at the gold. It's not.
Wrong.
And so,
what a mind game from Leenock.
Super's got to be really frustrated. Look at his face. He's like, oh, I could have just killed him with cannons.
Yeah.
I had it. I could have killed him. He's dead. He's so dead if
Instead, we're going to see 2 hatch before pool against a Forge. A Forge looking for cannons, man. Looking to cannon rush. What a mind game.
Watch his
Leenock.
face. Watch Super's face while he scouts this hatch. Guarantee you he's not going to be happy.
Well, you can't see anything, but he's just probably like, damn it.
Well, his face, you could see his face was a lot more intense when he scouted the gold base was empty. Yeah, you could tell he's not happy with the situation.
Really smart play. I love it so much. Leenock definitely playing the opponent. Playing his match history.
Yeah, playing his match history and playing Leenock's own match history against his opponent. Saying, you know, you're expecting that I might take the gold base. I do that from time to time on this map. And I'm going to take a fast throw, which I've never shown before. And then you're going to think it's the gold. You're going to be like, oh, 100% it's the gold. I'll cannon it. Super mind games. We don't even see this high-level mind game play very often. This is like mind games at...
Well, we could see it all the time, just it goes right over our heads as well. Like,
yeah.
It's such a finicky thing, but Leenock's got this very clear sort of style, this gimmicky kind of style with gold bases that he can take full advantage of because everyone knows about it now because he's been using it recently. So I think it's absolutely perfect that he did this.
I like it a lot. Well, the timing still works out just like double hatch before pool. Queens.
He is so far ahead. And all he has to remember now is that, okay, Super likes to go for 3 gate timings with +1 on occasion. I just have to be ready. I must make my Roach Warren at around 6 minutes, 6 minutes 15, or have speed early enough. And looks like
we do see Chrono being used on that.
Yep, it is going to be nice and early once again.
Just 3 gates, the +1, no 4th gate or anything more aggressive.
Yeah, seeing speed links. Leenock sees the +1 being upgraded as well, so Let's wait and see if he's going to add a Roach Warren with this as well.
Yeah, he didn't see how the chrono was being used on the Cyber Core because it's a bit too far away. But
there we go. 6 minutes 20, Roach Warren. It should be more than enough.
Just about the same time we saw it last game.
Yeah. Gotta keep that.
Cancel that.
Yeah. Keep that alive.
He canceled the last second to buy the most time as well. He's such a great player. Okay, this is a fast pylon. It's up right in time. This is going to line up really, really well for Super. Right when his gateways finish, his +1 finishes. You know, he's going to have all of this together as the pylon finishes to do that instant stalker warp in. And, you know, without the Roach Worm being done just yet, these stalkers can get some damage done here.
A small window. We could see he gets surrounded right now. He's
on
Zerglings.
creep. Makes Zerglings faster than a stalker.
Almost. Could still possibly do it. Nope. Got to be careful. Does not want to commit too many Zerglings.
Yeah, look,
Mothership Core taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Queen damage is getting really intense here, down to 32 health. Super is playing frustrated, but he's going to get an Overlord for free. He might be able to get a second one, actually, if he notices it.
Oh, he's got to be very careful. He cannot be losing Overlords like this. Going to put it over the edge.
Oh
my God. 6 HP.
And now speed is done, and these Stalkers are going to get surrounded. Mothership Core coming for the recall. Close call there.
Yeah, very close. Imagine if the Queens were just a little touch closer. He could have killed that Mothership Core.
That would have been like game ending. Lose your Mothership Core, lose all your Stalkers.
Ending, man. Leenock could have done anything from there.
Well, now he's supply blocked. Super is. You know, he's not ahead in Harvesters like he normally is after this pressure.
Twilight Cancel being added this time. Okay. A little bit different, Wolf.
Yeah.
I think he is going to try and go for that third base. Going to go into Blink Stalkers. Going to go into +2 eventually.
Might even do like light, you know, economic saturation as third base +2/1 upgrade. Blink Stalker, sort of aggressive attack.
Yeah, funky way to do it for sure.
He's definitely not in a comfortable position, and I feel like when you're in a situation like this, you might have to do something that's a bit weird and not, you know, an ideal timing attack.
Well, I think it's certainly important that he does not do the same thing he's been doing in the last 2 games. And I kind of like this Blink Stalker mix-up.
And Robotics just now finishing up here. Roach Speed and Burrow are about to be done for Leenock. We may just see him go Burrow movement again. I think something to consider, but for now, just pressuring across the map with these Roaches. He's got 17 on the map.
Yeah, he is going completely complete aggression with this. He's making the Spire now as well, only on 4 gases for now.
Okay, well, this is a really important moment here. The Roaches actually get to the top of that ramp, and Super looks like he might just have to give up his third base.
Yeah, it looks like it, unless he has perfect force fields.
It'll be perfectly force fields. The Lings could potentially just run over that third base.
Nice burrow, but unfortunately, Observer is out already.
Yeah, he actually doesn't get as much done here as I thought he would, but now he's going over that third.
I think if he just goes for the cancel, maybe, just maybe.
It's almost done. It's done now. The Nexus finishes.
Ooh. So now it gets a little bit harder because it's such a good defensive position. Oh, he gets rid of a sentry even with those caught out. Oh, and he's going to get an Immortal as well.
And yeah, this is totally for free.
Beautiful
Super
move.
just with some missed controls here, some missed rallies with his Robotics. That was where he was rallying his Observer. Yeah. And now the Ling's trying to find another opening over here. Super barely holds on. And keep in mind that with this much commitment to aggression, with all this larva spent, Leenock is very Harvester light. He's at 59 drones and 57 probes.
He's going to have 8 mutas being made in just a second after he decides to stop making Zerglings. He's going to apply the pressure and keep going for now, really forcing the Protoss to commit to all these units, these ground units he doesn't want to be making.
Well, every anti-air unit that he kills, every Stalker, every Sentry that he kills makes the Mutalisks fall up a lot stronger. You know, he supply blocks Super again.
56 gases are up and running now. 4th base on the way, halfway done.
He barely has any Stalkers. Look at this, using Burrow to burrow some Lings over here. Going to catch some probes.
Oh, man. Leenock's in complete control of this game.
And with burrowed Lings, you know, this is just another little tactic that Leenock could use. No warp in here at the front. Getting some force fields, but here's some more Roaches to eliminate a Sentry or 2. There are like 2 Stalkers on the map, by the way, and even though they have Blink, there's only 2 Stalkers, so this is going to be pretty tough to defend.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult. He has enough to warp in a bunch more, but he's going to take some probe damage for sure, and he can't be everywhere at once.
No, he certainly cannot. Oh boy, there's that Stalker warp, and actually one of the Stalkers gets targeted right away. Is he actually just going to fight these? He is.
Like it. Not a bad choice.
The Sentries are too slow to come back up here. Meanwhile, Roaches hit the third base, killing another cannon.
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he's committing pretty hard to kill these Stalkers. But once they're gone, there's still no more anti-air coming up.
He can kill the Mothership.
And another Immortal gets picked off as well. Goodbye, Mothership, before it has enough energy for a cannon. Leenock is just picking him apart here. His Super is...
Against this kind of momentum, bit of a bad trade here. He's got to get his meters out just a little too much.
Yeah, must have been microing some of his units in the middle of the map, maybe some roaches or something at that time.
Such a hard sort of situation for Protoss to be in. Constantly on the back foot, defending everywhere.
Here come a bunch of Lings, and with very few sentries left, he's just going to get in here on top of those Stalkers. Leenock needs to be careful not to overcommit here, though.
Yeah,
because
I think he really needs to realize the upgrades. It's 2-1 Stalkers here. That is very, very difficult for just Ling Muta to handle front-on attacks. Like, they have to be very, very careful and very picky with their fights. He could be committing a lot more to harassment, to counterattacking, and I think I actually might almost give the advantage to Super at this point. The economies are even. That fourth base is empty. The upgrade advantage is by far in Super's favor.
he kills a few pylons, he kills a few probes, but the worker count, 68 now to 59. It's good that Leenock has a macro hatch because that can allow him to get his drones back up pretty quickly. He's got a ton of larvae to utilize. He does still have 15 mobile Mutalisks on the map.
It's a lot of Zerglings coming across the map, but they are 0-0. And if there's just enough Zealots to kind of buffer for this, as well as force field, he should be more than fine.
Yes, and I'm actually surprised Leenock is going to commit to kill his cannon. Might cost him Mutalisk or two. Does lose just one. And double Stargates are done. He's got Phoenixes on the way. Now, Leenock knows those Stargates are there. He's still making Mutalisk. Oh, there's no warp in this time. This is a lot of Lings to get into the main base. And again, nothing at the third base. Super not splitting his units up too well. It's costing him a lot of probes. 12 in total now with this little wave of harassment. And even some more at the natural here.
Oh, this is so important. Getting those Zerglings in.
He's still not even fully dealt with this yet. And there's Burrow, so Lynx can hide and then come back later.
But now, we really have to see Leenock transition. Now that he's seen 2 Stargates as well as these upgraded Stalkers, more than enough to really deal with these mutas. I wonder if he is actually going to transition. We do see Hydralisk Den as well as an Evolution Chamber being made. We do see the 7th and 8th gases have been finally saturated.
You know what's cool about these Lings, too, is they can identify there's nothing in the main base. They're able to see that there's no Stalkers set up here, so these Mulas can come in and now get on top of these Stargates.
If he can get the pylon, that would be huge.
Huge Ling run by over here to the third base yet again. Even though there's 2 cannons here, you just run past, gets that pylon like you were talking about, stopping Phoenix production. And the Phoenix control here has not been the best. He loses several of those. Finally going to be warded off. But this game has just been so back and forth.
I like this counterattack. This could actually just get the hatchery with 2 Immortals there. If given enough time, he could just right-click it down. There is really nothing there to counter it.
Starts the Anion Pulse Crystals. Meanwhile, Mulis are coming back.
17 Roaches in production. Now, Hydra's on the map as well.
There's no Stalkers here to help defend this ground army, so...
oh, man, I think Super made a huge mistake here, not right-clicking down that hatchery. Everything's going to get cleaned up, and he doesn't get the economy, he doesn't get the hatchery. Now big mistake.
These Stalkers are out in an awkward spot as well, where they're trying to run back. Mulis coming to the main
lead.
Yeah, I don't know about the attack just in general.
That was it was a bit messy. I mean, it was kind of necessary just to relieve the pressure, but he could have done a lot of damage with it.
If he had a recall with it, I feel like it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Without a recall, I mean, that's pretty expensive.
It is.
And also you see Leenock switching into Roaches because he knows that that ground army just got totally wiped. All there's left on this map is Stalkers.
There's no Immortals.
Phoenixes.
Yeah. And now, Muta's painfully trying to fight Phoenix. And they're eventually all going to get wiped out. I think we really should have seen some Corruptors added in if he was going to commit to that many Mutalisks.
Well, still, I mean, the Phoenix is not going to be too useful against this army. Let's see how good the Blink Stalker micro of Super is. Zealots at the front here to tank a little bit for those. This is just a ton of burst damage in this entire ranged ground army here. Doesn't want to fight into the cannons, but if he can wedge himself in between these 2 bases, might be able to catch some reinforcements.
It's still so hard because the upgrade advantage is so large. For Supers, it's going to be a messy fight regardless. Stalkers are going to be pretty effective, and with these Phoenix kind of lifting up the Hydras, maybe he can hold on.
Now let's see. Hydras at the back, starting to have no more tanks with those Roaches falling down.
I'm sorry, did I say maybe? I mean definitely hold on.
Yeah, a lot of probes going down here still, though. Leenock has this advantage of keeping Super on the defensive, taking away his mining, trading for Stalkers here. You know, Super has to sit back and defend. Leenock is on 4 bases. He has a much better Harvester count. But the concern is that he just made a bunch more Hydras. And there are Colossi on the map now.
There are Colossi.
It's about to be 2.
Range still a way away, but even with these Stalkers, it's such a big problem because these Stalkers can go toe-to-toe currently. With these upgrades, we just saw that fight. There was more than enough Stalkers to deal with that Roach Hydra composition.
Leenock just has to keep Super back. He has to keep him on the defensive. Super is taking a 4th base. This has been actually quite a great game, just in the sense that it's been so back and forth, and we've seen players make great decisions to get themselves back into the game time and time again. We've seen massive advantages, turned, swung completely upside down.
Some great mind games, yeah, and a lot of aggression. And I think now we are seeing Leenock go for Vipers with this Roach Hydra composition, which I think is definitely the next step. But it's going to be a hard fight considering the ball we have from Super now.
There's so many Blink Stalkers. Zoning out those Vipers isn't going to be too terribly difficult with this. The Vipers are going to have to engage, I feel, before there's too many Colossi, because if you can pick off 1 or 2 and it's 3 Colossi, that's one thing. But
Roach is going to be careful.
If he fights with when there's 4 Colossi with range, for example, it's a different story. And like you said, these Roaches getting a bit too close to this Protoss army.
Yeah, they're getting mashed. But we do see the max from Leenock. He is maxed out. He's up 70 supply. We do have 3 Vipers on the way as well.
Yeah, those Vipers are key. Without them, this Protoss army could still do a lot of work with 3 Colossi, soon to be 4 with range and the better upgrades. So let's watch this this next moment closely, because this actually could be the moment that decides the game. If Super takes a good fight and has a 4th base up, it's very difficult for Leenock to transition. But if he loses all of his Colossi, Leenock just moves across the map and kills him.
Yeah, Super really has to be careful here. He's got to put down some perfect force fields, be ready to get rid of these Vipers. But no, he doesn't have 1 abduct, 2 abduct, 3 abduct. That's it.
Doesn't have enough force fields. His Sentry Warpins are a bit late, and he gets crushed here. The Stalkers at the back are going to be overwhelmed by the flood of Hydralisks that come through.
There's 1 more Colossus, and these Stalkers are holding on for now.
He has to just move back and wait for the Remax units to actually spawn. Zealots being warped in to try to defend Roaches that are actually killing all of the mining at the natural right now for Super.
Yeah, 25 more Roaches on the way as well. Should be more than enough to help clean this up.
Once there's no more Colossi, super easy to just win with Roach Hydra against this comp.
Especially if you drop some Blinding Clouds as well. Against Blink Stalkers, there's just absolutely nothing they can do.
He's getting +3. And look at his bank. I think he's actually going to maybe...
Leenock, he cannot overcommit too much there. Like, he does like to take these scrappy fights.
I think he's going to just do a meterless switch after this, because he's building +3 for air.
Well, there we go. That should be it. That should be more than enough damage, especially with that last Colossi going down. He can deal with this 4th base, which would also put the nail in the coffin. But GG, really well played. Fantastic game from Leenock and Super, man.
A scrappy game, back and forth.
Very scrappy.
The whole series really was kind of like that. The only one that looked like it was pretty dominant was game 1, but the second and third games were really, really back and forth.
Man, exciting game. So much aggression.
Well, it is going to be Leenock that moves on to face Terminator, and guess what? Leenock's playing the same matchup now.
Yeah. Well, Terminator got a good look at what was going to be happening, and Leenock definitely known for his ZVP. All the VODs are out there, man, of him winning.
So you know what's rough?
Yeah.
You know what's rough for Super? Now he has to play against Fantasy, who is playing the same matchup that he just played as well.
Yeah.
And it's a matchup that we were talking about earlier. He probably prepared for the most, because there were much higher chances that he would play it, because he's got 2 Prolosses in the group.
Exactly.
Not a very comfortable place to be right now for Super, as he's 1 best of 3 away from getting knocked out of the group.
Pretty intense, man. Pretty intense.
Really great series, though. I definitely would recommend that. Even though a lot of mistakes from both players, it just goes to show how much pressure they were both putting on each other to force these sorts of mistakes, to kind of just fluster each other.
Oh, I just absolutely love that mind game in Game 3 with Leenock expanding at the 3rd base instead of the goal, just completely throwing Super off. Getting 2 hatcheries before pool against a Forge Fast expand like that. Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, guys, before we go into our winners match, decide the first player to advance to the round of 8, we are going to have a short, little small commercial break. So tell your friends, spread the word, spread that stream link, and we'll see you guys in just a few.